from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News Studios here at the ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation. We're ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I'm Charita Minuprarachi, together with Natalia Veeravardhana.
Dominda Silva has been rearrested. A relief worker is killed by the floods. The district secretaries provide relief for the flood victims. The GCE ordinary level examination successfully concludes. A set of proposals from youth professionals to resolve the prison crisis. Johnston Fernando and Mahinda Kahandagama have been named as suspects engaged in attacking the protest site. A presidential commission to investigate losses in lives and properties that had taken place between 31st of March and 15th of May. The opposition leader says he has no displeasure over the 21st Amendment. More than 100 persons die in floods and earth slips in Brazil. The Sri Lankan team competing in the T20 tournament against Australia has been named.
The Department of Public Treasury Operations has reserved funds for provision of relief to the people affected by flood threats. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has instructed the Treasury to provide relief through the district secretaries.
And this was disclosed in a preliminary discussion conducted by Prime Minister's Secretary Samaneka Nayaka with district secretaries of Kaluthara, Gampaha, Galle and Ratnapura. The Sri Lanka Navy has taken measures this morning to the Station 13 relief teams for the purpose of extending relief to the general public affected by the heavy rains with the condition. Water levels in Kalu and Ging rivers have gone up. As a result, a flood threat has emerged in the districts of Ratnapura, Kaluthara and Galle. Army personnel stationed at different locations have extended their contributions to overcome the difficulties being experienced by candidates of the GCE ordinary level examination as a result of the inclement weather. A 30-year-old official attached to the Disaster Management Centre in the Kiriyala Divisional Secretariat Division in Ratnapura was killed by a strong water flow. Director General of the Disaster Management Centre, Major General Sudhant Ranasinghe, says that security forces personnel of the three armed forces are continuously engaged in operations to rescue groups subject to disasters. Several low-lying zones have been inundated due to the overflowing of Kiramar Oya, which is a tributary of the Nilwala River. Flooding have also occurred in Panadugama in the Akurasa Siambalangode Road. Several low-lying areas in the Hindugode, Kudruwadid, Akurasa, Kumburupitia Road were also reported to have come under water. Transport has been obstructed due to the inundations of Makandura in the Bulatiana, Kumburupitia Road. The Mathura Disaster Management Unit has taken measures to securely transport students sitting for the GCE ordinary level examination to their examination centres. Obstructions have also been caused as a result of floods to GCE ordinary level examination centre in Karanguda Vidyalaya in the Nivitikala in Ratnapura. The exam staff have taken measures to transport question papers to the exam centres by boats. Daily routing of the families is nearly 500 houses have been affected. Meanwhile, the Criminal Investigations Department has arrested Dominda Silva at the Jamarthipura Hospital this evening. The Supreme Court has issued an injunction order yesterday suspending the presidential pardon extended in former parliamentarian Dominda Silva. He was given a death sentence in connection with the murder of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra. And meanwhile, GCE ordinary level examination has ended today.
Commissioner General of Examinations LMD Dharmasen says evaluation activities under the first stage will be conducted from the 17th to the 26th of this month. Commissioner General of Examinations LMD Dharmasen said at a media briefing today that work pertaining to the evaluation of answer scripts has already commenced with the participation of 32,368 inspectors. He added that evaluations are being conducted at 106 centres in 85 schools. He further said that the second stage of the evaluation will take place from the 30th of this month to 9th of next month. However, he added that a doubt has arisen over the ability to release these results at the scheduled time. He said the reason being the diversion of attention on the conducting of GCE A-level examination upon immediate conclusion of the O-level exam. Practical tests of both O-level and A-level exam will be conducted. The Commissioner General has expressed opinion on the students who sat for the exam amidst heavy rainfall. The Commissioner General said some answer scripts were exposed to rainwater. However, no complaints have so far been received from any candidate.
And meanwhile, the distribution of Litro gas has recommenced after several days. The Litro company said 50,000 gas cylinders were released to the market today. Information pertaining to sales representatives from whom gas could be obtained is available in the website www.litrogas.com. 1,100 gas cylinders were distributed in the Gold Town yesterday under police and army protection. 3 gas retail centers in Bandaravela have also received 600 gas cylinders yesterday after a lapse of 15 days, and they were distributed among the consumers. Fuel consumers are experiencing difficulties due to unavailability of diesel in filling stations in Bandaragama. They have complained that they are without diesel for 4 days. Measures are being taken to provide fuel to farmers in Uva Paranagama and Valimada through filling stations. The officials of the Divisional Secretariat Division are supervising the fuel distribution program. The Sri Lanka Public Utilities Commission has once again given permission to the Ceylon Electricity Board for a discontinuation of power with the aim of managing the existing demand for power. Accordingly, the timetable for power cuts will be implemented from tomorrow till the 5th of this month. There will be a 2-hour power cut in each day, tomorrow and the day after. On the 4th of this month, there will be a power cut of a duration of 1 hour. However, there will be no power cuts on the 5th of this month. And the collective of professionals for a national policy have prepared a set of proposals of measures to be taken to resolve the existing political and the economic crisis.
The speciality is that they have received the assistance of a group of youth professionals connected to the ongoing protest in the preparation of proposals. They were presented to the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the President's office in Fort Colombo.
At this occasion, a discussion has been conducted on short, medium and long-term measures to be taken to confront the existing situation and also on the passing of a people-oriented new constitution. The set of proposals include 11 basic factors. The next round of discussions in this connection is to be taken place in the next 5 days upon study of the proposals. It has also been pointed out that all talks and the several groups of veterans representing numerous fields are ready to participate in the national rebuilding effort. The President has informed that the group he has prepared to extend necessary authority and resources for the implementation of the plans. The professionals have pointed out that all ministries should be presented annually a development program targeting specific objectives. They have further stated that the progress of the program should come under investigations once in every 3 months. The series of proposals also points out the need to remove from the post the ministers and officials who failed to accomplish their targets at the end of the year. Among others who have attended the discussion were the Venerable Professor Pathaka Bajani Sarathera, Venerable Vidyala Kivindrajathatera, Dr. Ashoka Jayasena, and attorney at law Nelum Veragoda, representing the Trade Union Collective for a National Policy. Minister Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa and Chief of Defence of the President Anura Dissanayake have also attended the event. 13 suspects, including parliamentarian Sanath Nishanta and Milan Jatilaka, who have been arrested in connection with the assaulting incidents at the Gota Gogama and Minor Gogama protest, have been ordered to be further detained till the 8th of this month.
The order being delivered by the Fort Magistrates Court.
Additional Solicitor General Ayesha Chinasena, appearing on behalf of the CID, told the court's former Minister Johnston Fernando, Mahinda Kahandagama, Dilith Fernando and Nishant Jayasinghe and also been named as suspects of the case. The Additional Solicitor General also said a videotape containing a speech given by Johnston Fernando at the meeting held at the Temple Trees on the days of the assault has been received. She has requested the permission of the judiciary to direct the government analyst to submit a report regarding whether the contents of the tape were edited. IGP C.D. Vikram Ratna has also appeared before the courts today, according to the summons delivered on a previous occasion when the case was taken up for hearing. President's Counsel, appearing on behalf of Deshabandhu Tennakon, responding to queries raised by the magistrate, said that the instructions have been obtained from the President as well as through a telephone conversation regarding how to resolve the dispute. He added that accordingly measures have been taken to disperse the protesters. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Thalduwa said that the CID is conducting investigations into the violent incident that had taken place in Kolpitia and Goldface Green on the 9th of this month. He added that accordingly 23 female and male suspects have been taken into custody. He added that the judiciary has conducted identification parades on behalf of these suspects on the 25th, 27th and 30th of last month. He also said that 10 of the suspects who took part in the identification parade have also been released on bail. The remaining 13 suspects placed under detention till the 8th of this month.
All loss of lives and properties that has taken place in the period between 31st of March and 15th of May will be investigated by a presidential committee appointed by the President. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has handed over letters of appointments to the members of the committee at the President's house in Fort this afternoon. The Commission has been entrusted with the task of investigating and reporting all types of damages caused to properties and lives by means of setting of fires, robberies and killings between the period of 31st March and 15th of May. The committee is headed by Supreme Court Judge, President's Counsel B.P. Aluvihare. Secretary to the Commission is President's Additional Secretary Bhuwanika Herath. The other members are former DIG S.M. Wickramasinghe and Chief Additional Assessor A.S. Wasantakumara.
On your more local story this evening, senior professor at the Moratuwa University Amal Kumar Gill says 3% of the gross domestic production of the country is completed to be utilized for the procurement of the fuel of passenger transport. He points out that this is an unbearable factor in the development of the country. Efficiency is a priority concern when considering of fuel consumption in a country. The professor further says utilization of a high quantity of fuel for the transportation directly attributes towards the destabilization of the economic development. Professor Amal Kumar said that when the import bills is at $20 billion, we have to allocate around $6 billion just for fuel for transport. In comparison to other developing countries, this is a 2 to 3-fold increase. Fuel usage could be restricted through the strengthening of common transportation services and introduction of limitations for other forms of transport. Professor Amal Kumar said that only 18% of fuel is being used for passenger transportation. He added that they have to resolve this fuel at least on short-term basis to transportation sectors have high fuel efficiency. Another measures to be taken is the reduction of private vehicle travelling. Professor Kumar also reiterated the need to introduce short-term scientific methodologies. Professor Amal Kumar said that a somewhat planning based on scientific and economic factors is essential in order to reduce high-cost fuel imports.
Farmers throughout the island have recommenced their cultivation activities as a remedy to any impending food shortage. Food security and crop development programs are currently being implemented. Young farmer Iranga Sandaruwan of Nagahamada in Monaragala has commenced a program to distribute several varieties of traditional locally manufactured seeds which have been conserved by himself. These seeds include Meneri, Tanahal, Idaliringu, Bhumi and Dialabu. Distribution of the seeds through mail has commenced. Inauguration ceremony on the distribution of vegetable and fruit seeds for state officials in the Galle district has taken place at the Galle district secretariat recently. A clarification has also been made on how the crops should be maintained. Cultivation of crops in the yellow season has been delayed in some areas in the country due to shortage of chemical fertilizer. However, a special feature has been that farmers of the Malsiripur irrigation scheme in Kurunagala have commenced paddy cultivation using only organic fertilizer.
And meanwhile, the newly appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Sri Lanka Army, Lieutenant General Wikum Liyanage, has assumed duties as the 24th Sri Lankan Army Chief today.
He has received his letter of appointment from President Gotabaya Rajapaksa last evening.
A guard of honor by the Gajaba Regiment to welcome the new Army Commander was conducted at the Army Headquarters premises in Sri Javardhanapura. Lieutenant General Wikum Liyanage is the most senior official of the Sri Lanka Army upon the leaving of former Army Commander General Shavendra Silva from the post yesterday. The new Army Commander has held the post of Chief of Staff of the Sri Lanka Army until yesterday. Lieutenant General Wikum Liyanage, as an officer cadet, joined the Sri Lanka Army on October 27, 1986 and followed basic military training at the prestigious Sri Lanka Military Academy at Diathalawa and subsequently at Pakistan Military Academy. Lieutenant General Wikum Liyanage was able to widen his horizons through the experience gained over the years from respective appointments in his service and through further training he underwent. During the peak of the final humanitarian operation, General Wikum Liyanage commanded the 8th Gajaba Regiment of Victoria's 57th and 56th Divisions, which were actively conducting operations. He was able to achieve many victories against the LTTE. Lieutenant General Vikom Lianage, who has actively taken part in operations against the LTTE, has been adorned with gallantry awards of Rana Vikrama Padakama. He has held a numerous significant command, staff and instructional appointments, including platoon commander and company commander. During his school career, he has excelled in athletics and hockey and a bright student at Vijaya College, Matale. He is the father of 2 children. The NIB Army Commander has officially commenced his duties at the office amidst the blessings of the Mahasangha and all religious observances.
Bangladesh has reiterated its commitment to Sri Lanka through a $2.2 million donation of essential medicines. The donation consists of 79 essential medications, including anti-cancer, antihypertensives, and antibiotic oral and injectables, antiviral, anti-epileptic, and anti-asthmatic medication. The Ministry of Health said the High Commissioner of Bangladesh, Tariq MD Ariful Islam, handed over a donation of essential medicines worth $2.2 million to the Health Minister, Dr. Kelly Rambukwella, yesterday. The High Commissioner stated that Bangladesh is happy to assist Sri Lanka during this difficult time and is honoured to have this opportunity to assist a country that they have ties to historically. He also stated that they stand to assist Sri Lanka in any way possible in the future. Meanwhile, Minister Rambukwella, while thanking the High Commissioner, the government of Bangladesh and the people of Bangladesh for the timely donation, expressed his desire to further strengthen the relationship between the two countries. The High Commissioner and Minister also discussed how the two countries can collaborate within the pharmaceutical industry and exchange human resources in the medical industry.
The Food and the Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, with financial assistance from the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, is providing technical support to develop the fisheries and aquaculture sector in Sri Lanka. FAO NORAD Global Cooperation collaboration with work with the Ministry of Fisheries on 3 focus areas in Sri Lanka under the newly initiated project. Those areas are developed capacities to implement robust first-aid measures to combat illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, increase resilience of the fisheries and aquaculture sector in climate change, and reduce food loss and waste along fisheries value chain in Sri Lanka. Norwegian Ambassador to Sri Lanka and the Maldives, Charan Jaranjali Eskadil, stated that the NIB project aims to safeguard the fisheries and aquaculture resources in Sri Lanka, which is timely and important. Vilamindri Charan, FAO representative for Sri Lanka and the Maldivian, highlighted that fisheries were also struggling to keep the livelihoods afloat amidst numerous challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic. Now the profession rocked by impacts of the economic crisis. He says that the FAO workers to increase the resilience of people and their livelihoods in the fact of threats and crises. Secretary to the Ministry of Fisheries R.M. Ratnayaka and representatives from fisheries-related institutions, private sector and academia participated at the inception meeting of the FAO Norway project. The project will support policymakers and management experts, trade and industry experts, fisheries, fishery farmers and fish workers. It is aimed at enhancing and socio-economic development of the fisheries and aquaculture sector through the responsible use of fisheries resources. And meanwhile, the Secretary of the Sri Lanka Cricket, Mohan De Silva, says the tour of the Australian cricket team in Sri Lanka, despite the prevailing situation in the country, should be commended.
Participating in a discussion with the national television, he further said that Sri Lanka will receive an income of $2.5 million as a result of this tour. Secretary of the Sri Lanka Cricket, Mohan De Silva, said that the Australian tour is regarded as a warm-up session for the World Cup tournament scheduled to be held at the end of the year. The 1.5-month tour of the Aussies team gives a strong message to the world on Sri Lanka. It portrays the fact that Sri Lanka is safe for travelling at a time when several leading countries impose travel bans on the country. The tour also benefits tourist hotels as well as other groups engaged in sectors connected to the tourist industry. The Sri Lanka team competing in the T20 tournament against the Australian team has been named. Dasun Shanaka captains the 18-member Sri Lankan pool. The batsmen are Pathum Nissanka, Tanushka Gunatilaka, Kusal Mendis, Charita Salanka, Bhanuka Rajapaksha, Nuanidu Fernando. This was the first instance of Nuanidu's inclusion in the national team. Lahiru Madhushanka has been convened as an all-rounder. The spinners of the team are Vanidu Hasaranga, Ramesh Mendis, Mahesh Tekshan, and Praveen Jayavikrama and Lakshan Sandakan. The pace bowlers are Dushmanta Chamiru, Chamika Karunaratna, Kasun Rajita, Nuan Tushara and Matisha Patirana. Patirana has also been included in the national team for the first time. Some of the members of the Australian cricket team named in the T20 tournament against Sri Lanka has arrived in the island this afternoon. The 15-member Australian reserve is headed by Aaron Finch. The first and the second of the three T20 tournament between Sri Lanka and Australia will be played at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo on the 7th and 8th of this month. The third T20 will be conducted at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium on the 11th. All matches will be telecast live over Channel I of the national television. Meanwhile, Indians are paying their tributes to popular singer KK, who died unexpectedly on Tuesday night, hours after performing at a concert.
The 53-year-old, whose real name was Krishna Kumar Kunath, sang hundreds of songs over his career, which began in the 1990s. KK collapsed at his hotel in Kolkata city and was rushed to a hospital where doctors pronounced him dead. The cause of death hasn't been confirmed yet. This morning, Not KK trended on Indian Twitter as fans and colleagues registered their shocks and disbelief at the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the tributes, tweeting his greetings as the singer untapped the demise. His songs reflected a wide range of emotions and struck. Welcome back, and now it's your sports update. And giving a tough competition with the strongest competitors in the world, Sri Lanka's Yupun Abekon has secured the 5th place in the 100-meter event in the Ostrov Golden Spike Athletic Tournament in Czech Republic.
British national Prescott has clinched the gold, completing the event in 9.93 seconds. Jamaican national Johan Blake has